Arcade sucks!
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is a game that I've been excited for, and I thought that I would enjoy, considering it's an ArcSys fighting game. But it's a game I did not expect to get addicted to. This game is fun. So I ran a few in versus mode because it took forever to get online matches, and I was like, well, I need to get a video out, so I'm just going to go ahead and up the difficulty of the bots and just kind of show off the team that I feel like I'm going to work on, that I feel like is going to do okay in a online setting, as well as just something that I can play as on the side against friends and stuff like that. So I just did a few team comps here that I think people are going to enjoy, just kind of structuring it like online games are. But this was originally going to be showing off my team, but this turned into a Miss Marvel video. Let me tell you, Miss Marvel, I've heard some things. I've heard people say that Miss Marvel sucks. She's not good. She's dookie. Bullcrap. She is awesome in this game. She's probably one of the most fun characters. I did not expect to like her because I'm not like huge. So I love Marvel Comics. I love Iron Man. I love Spider-Man. I'm so glad Carnage is going to be in the game. I can't wait to play with him when the full game comes out. I love all these. I'm a Marvel guy over DC every single day. Miss Marvel is a character that, like, I knew what she was. I wasn't like huge on her before, considering she's like a newer hero. I'm just not into it. This might make me pick up a Miss Marvel comic because she is awesome in this game. I love her. She's so fun. So this first round, the bots low-key cooked me when I was on Spider-Man. Spider-Man is probably going to be like my second. He's a little complicated to play. He's a little hard to play, but he's also pretty basic to play. You got to figure out kind of where his webs and the direction of his webs go, and that's really like his biggest thing compared to these other characters that are. But Miss Marvel, man, she is so fun. She can assault, she can put on defense, she can do everything, and it is one of the best things I've ever seen. So I pretty much just get cooked right here. As you can see, Blade just low-key cooks me. I don't even know what the frick was happening. I was like, to be fair, I was kind of locked out a little bit. You can see I was like swinging. I'm still trying to like figure out the game as I go, because it is still relatively new. It does feel a lot like Fighters. It feels a lot like Dragon Ball Fighters. I've played a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters, and that was the main thing I was struggling with while I was playing, was trying to get out of the Fighters mindset, because this game controls a little different from Dragon Ball Fighters. And every single time I wanted to do Super Dash, I would accidentally like switch characters. I had to kind of learn how to do the dashing, how to move around. As you can see, I'm a little still kind of spammy a little bit. I'm still just trying to figure out things, just trying to figure out how to play the game, how to use the assist properly, stuff like that. Like just figuring stuff out, because like I said, it feels a lot like Fighters, and it plays a good bit like Fighters, but it also plays a lot like Guilty Gear as well. It plays a lot like Guilty Gear, with the combos being somewhat streamlined, but you can also really string out a good combo, but you can't get like a super like 25 hit to like 50 hit combo like you can in Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, this is very like streamlined in that aspect, but it's super fun. And obviously you can switch characters on the fly. I'm trying to experiment with using the assist feature as I work in my combos. As you can see, I'm just kind of trying to figure out what to do, but I kind of have Miss Marvel down. As you can see, it's really more or less just figuring out what she can combo into, what she can do, and really just figuring out what works and what doesn't. What can I follow up into? Because I could have definitely done this on a training mode, but I like to play like versus for my training, because I feel like that's better. I don't feel like doing combos in like on a just training dummy when like I don't know what a person could do when you're compared to like just practicing a combo could do. So so I'm obviously just kind of trying, and you'll see as we get later into this that I do pull off some pretty cool combos that I feel like I'm happy with, that were cool. But for the most part, like I said, Ms. Marvel super freaking fun. She has a lot of like she can range, as you can see. I was standing still a lot, mainly because, like I said, trying to figure out movement, trying to figure out what to do, also trying to figure out what range she has. So you can see that I'm a little bit spammy, but I'm just mainly trying to figure out her range, her buttons, still a little bit. Trying to figure out how I can most manipulate my movement while, keeping on the pressure, because that's the one thing I've noticed about this game, and I'll say is super annoying about one character in particular, Wolverine. Wolverine is super annoying. He has super armor in almost everything he does, so he can interrupt you mid-combo and just keep going. So he's definitely one of the most annoying characters to deal with in this game. But
just like the name says, marvelous.
as you can see, I won the very first set there. And I basically played it like a set, in a rematch set that you would do online, so I just tried to structure it that way. But this game feels like certain characters are pretty good with following things up, especially Wolverine. Miss Marvel's pretty good at it. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how to do that. As you can see, I got cooked again with Spider-Man. I don't know what was going on. I swear my Spider-Man's a little better than this. I swear it is. I was playing a good few matches and doing pretty good with Spider-Man before this. I don't know why I was doing so bad with him here, but I swear my Spider-Man's better than this. See, as you can see, I kind of got my footing here, and then I was like, okay, I'm just going to switch to Miss Marvel and kind of do a Miss Marvel video. Get punished there, and then finally, retaliate. And that was really what I was mainly trying to do. I have a lot of her combos down. It's really about figuring out movement in the game, the assist, and how to follow up. Following up was like the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out right now, because it feels like there's a lot of times I could follow up or continue a combo, and then I would either just drop it because I can't really get the timing down, or it's just the way that the game is. I don't know. It feels both. It feels like both. It feels like sometimes that is the way the game is and you just can't follow up. And then there's sometimes where it's like, okay, I could have followed that up, but I just dropped it. Like right there, I definitely was able to follow that up and get like a 12-hit combo along with an assist in there, which was really nice. But there's other times where I'll do a similar combo and it just won't pick up. I think it's better if you're in the corner for follow-up combos. I would assume that that's probably how it is. That's how most fighting games work. But a lot of ArcSys games work very differently. Guilty Gear works very different from Fighters, and this game is like a mix of the two, so it still works very different. But as you can see, I'm mainly just figuring out what to do. You can also do grabs, which don't take near as long as Fighters, which is nice. I didn't do any grabs here for some reason, because I'm an idiot. That's probably why. But grabs in Fighters I did not like. They felt like they took forever, and the minute that you did a grab, anybody could literally retaliate against you in Fighters. If you did a grab here, the grab feels pretty seamless, but it still feels like you are better off assaulting with the overheads and stuff like that, and just against blocks. There's a lot of different ways to do it. The game teaches you a good bit, and it's very simplified. I think anybody can really pick up this game, and that's what makes it really, really fun, is I think anybody can get into this game and pick it up and just have a ball with it. It's so fun. It's a really, really freaking good game. It's so fun. Okay, so heading up into the next round, I actually followed in with the lead with Captain Marvel this time, because I felt like Captain Marvel was kind of working out for me, so I led up with her, and it changed the team name like super drastically for some reason. But in this match I went up against Ghost Rider. This was probably the hardest match of the video. So for context, the difficulty of the CPU was at level 4, so that's the second to hardest difficulty. I felt like was pretty medium, because at a base level of fighting games, I feel like I'm decent. I'm definitely not a pro. I don't have a lot of time to actually practice being in a fighting game, seeing as I have a job, I play other games, I don't have time to put into dedication, but I have enough time to learn the characters that I like to play. I play certain characters, I learn them, I have muscle memory, and I just kind of work with those. I don't really pick up or drop certain characters. I always stick with the ones that I like. So Miss Marvel is probably going to be one that I pick up. The only one that I would consider benching when the full release comes out is either Iron Man or Magic at the moment because of Carnage not being in the game. But I definitely want to try out Carnage, and depending on how fun he is, I will bench one of those. Now, I do use Magic a good bit in this video. So Magic is going to be used a little heavily in this video as well. And I'm pretty okay with her. I'm pretty decent with her. She's kind of like my quick damage dealer, while, you know, Miss Marvel's my lead, my ace, I guess is the best way to put it. But that being said, I feel like level 4 is kind of like a good difficulty to kind of keep at a medium level for players that are very casual, very casual. That's what I am. I'm a very casual player. You know, I like doing ranked here and there sometimes, but I don't have a desire to ever like get to the highest rank and be like one of the top 10 players or anything. I don't have any desire to do that. I didn't have a desire to do that in Crossworlds or any of these other games that have competitive or anything like that. I never have, and I never will. I'm competitive, but not to that level. But that being said, that's why I like that this game can kind of be accessible for those. And the only reason I'm really going to buy this game is to play it with friends, because I know a lot of friends of mine are going to be playing it because it's Marvel. I didn't have a lot of friends to play Fighters with. Fighters was Dragon Ball. I only have a certain set of friends that like Dragon Ball. They didn't really care for Dragon Ball that much, so they're not going to care for Fighters. But I have a lot of friends that really love Marvel. We really like talking about Marvel and superheroes, MCU, all that stuff. So this game is going to be very much accessible to play with them, and they're going to be updating it every single year, every few months, I believe. I think every month they're getting a new update, new character and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly. But either way, I'm going to have a lot of friends to play this with, and that's what I'm going to be using most of my time. So don't worry, videos on Tocon will be coming periodically when I decide to do like friend matches and stuff like that. That's really what I'm going to do. So I pulled out Spider-Man here to see if I could try to do any better with him. But then I realized I'm cooked because I got so used to doing Miss Marvel combos that, as you can see, I'm still trying to do it with Spidey. And I'm like, oh, this isn't working. So let me switch. Now, the switch mechanic, I don't currently love. It feels very slow. As you can see, I was standing there and I hit the button like a few times and it wasn't coming out. And maybe this is just because this is a beta. That could be it. But it feels really slow, and you're going to take a lot of hits openly if you want to be able to switch very seamlessly or into whichever character that you want to do. And you can switch by hitting a certain button on your controller. And when you hit the button, you hit it in a certain direction. So if you just hit a button, it'll switch to your very first support that you have. So in this case, it was Spider-Man. So if I hit the button, it was that. If I do down and the button, it was, I think it was LT. Yeah, LT. If you do down LT, it would have done Magic, and back LT would have done Iron Man. But for this, I mainly just focused on that and then Magic a little bit throughout this video as well. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to figure out how Ghost Rider works, range him, because I got hit with that fire a few times, and I will continue to get hit by this fire a good bit. So really just trying to figure out how he works, how he operates, because as you can see, that little red zone down there in the corner is really what I'm nervous about. I don't know how that operates, but it seems like, you know, then he started overheating or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, I need to shut him down. So as you can see, I'm still kind of just trying to figure out what range. Obviously, you know, he's going to jump over the hits. That's why I'm kind of just spamming a little bit. Like I said, just trying to figure out the game. That's really all I'm doing. I just was really having a lot of fun with the game, so I wanted to make a video, even if the gameplay's not that good. But, you know, I want to do it. So then I ripped out Magic and tried her a little bit. Now, she's really fun. She has a little bit of range on her, but she's mostly close range from what I've experienced. But she's really fun. She's very seamless. She seems to be less of a comboer and more of a heavy hitter. She can kind of like dish out really fast combos. You can dish her in, and then you can use her ult to kind of, which by the way is one of the best looking ults in the freaking game. By the way, just so you know, just kind of being able to switch her in and out. for a quick damage and then switching back to whoever you want to main. She's definitely good for that. But as you see, I got beat there. Not doing too well. It's also just due to the fact that I'm just trying to figure out how to move in on him, because that fire that he puts on the ground was kind of what I was worried about, like running forward, and just trying to figure out a few of her extra moves to use to give it a little bit of variance, because at this point you've probably seen a lot of the same thing, but it's kind of what works the most. So that's what a lot of fighting games are. A lot of people are like, oh, it looks so flashy. A lot of fighting games, the reason it looks so flashy is people memorize a certain combo and spam that over and over and over again because it works. It's the longest combo string. So you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. It's more or less the movement and stuff that makes it look entertaining in these videos. But mainly this is just me figuring out how to follow up with her. Like at this point in the video, and what I'm thinking at this current moment is Miss Marvel is the main. She is 100% the main. This is who I want to run with going forward in the game. This is who you're going to be fighting if you know me personally, or you're a YouTube friend of mine that's playing the game. If you know this game and you want to play it, you're going to be seeing me playing Miss Marvel. At this point, it's just me trying to figure out what I can do with her. I'm also trying to get a 2H here just to show off the 2H, because I realized I couldn't show off a 2H yet. And I was like, oh, well, let me do a 2H. But, yeah, so did a 2H there. Just trying to slam people into the thing. Also trying to get some of those little wall slams to move stages like that, which will also give you a character. So every time you do a certain set, like huge combo, or do like a wall slam where you like change stage locations, like in Guilty Gear, it will give you a character. And obviously you can do a huge team ult, which we'll get into, I think, in the last round that I do. We get into the big team ult, which is super cool. So right here I started kind of cooking a little bit. After that loss, I was like, all right, let's do a rematch. This will be one more. Also, some of the back details, you can see MJ in the back. You can see She-Hulk in the back of this New York that time. These maps are very beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful. You will see that as we get into this. I'm also learning how to use Spider-Man as my support. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, Spider-Man is better as a support for me personally. So I want to use Spider-Man as definitely one of my supports. So he's going to be on my team for support, while Miss Marvel is going to be my main damage dealer and my main mover. That's what I'm kind of just thinking at this moment. Trying to figure out how I can work him into my combos. Because I figured out that I was doing a lot more better combos with him, and sometimes with Magic doing that uppercut that she does, based on the combo string that I was doing. That was mainly what I was trying to figure out. But back to what I was saying, these maps are very beautiful. They're about as beautiful as the Guilty Gear maps. Pretty much the Guilty Gear, if you've ever played Guilty Gear Strive, the maps in that game are beautiful. They're amazing. So I got absolutely wrecked right here. I was just kind of trying to... I don't really look at health when I play fighting games. Right there, when I looked at the health, I got a little nervous, and I was like, okay. So then I fumbled a little bit. So really, this is me showing off her other ult. So they all each have 2 ults, a third if you count the team ult, and it's different for every single person. But Ms. Marvel, she's, like I said, she's so fun. She is so fun. She's very much... I think the reason I like her is she reminds me a lot of Elphelt from Guilty Gear. And Ramlethal at the same time. She's very mid-range and very, close range. And she's able to also... The reason I kept using that hand grab move that pulls like that is able to help you follow up moves like crazy. And it's a good combo starter. It does a little bit of damage, but it's a good combo starter. And it works. It's so good, and I love doing that. And then I was mainly what I was trying to do a lot of this video, as you'll see, is finding a way to lead into that with a main combo, and then follow into the big punch, and then she has that overhead that she does. So I was trying to figure out how to do this with that little overhead like that, because you can also initiate that overhead by doing a back RT. If you do a regular RT, you can do the big punch, and then that lead in is her RB. So that big punch right there was RT, and then RB was her her grab like move, grapple move, and then the down RT is her spin move, which is also really nice. So it just she has some really seamless combos. It's really about figuring out how they work, how to move into those. Because the thing is, as I'm playing her, not only am I just having fun with her, I'm realizing and I'm thinking live time like there's so many that I could combo into and that I can actually like follow up into. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. It's just getting the hang of it. And obviously this is a new game. I haven't played it before, so I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, obviously. And obviously I'm not blocking a lot. Right now I'm just kind of tanking hits to kind of see how long I'm kind of taking hits on purpose to see how long people can combo for. I've kind of experimented with it with Wolverine, and Wolverine's super annoying. But for here, I'm just kind of like trying to see, okay, how long can people string for? Because one of my biggest things with fighters was, as much as I love that game, people, if they were good enough, could infinitely combo you to the point you literally couldn't do anything. If you slipped up once, you were just gone. You were just gone. Especially in 3v3. Oh, this is the team assemble, the Tokon ult here, which kind of lagged for me. This beta's a little laggy. But the thing I didn't like about fighters is, especially in a 3v3 setting, if people knew what they were doing, they could just infinitely put you in the corner and you literally couldn't do anything. As long as they didn't drop a combo, you could literally go from 1 health and get perfected in the corner, even no matter how good you are. As long as people were just better than you and knew how to infinite combo spam, you were cooked in that game. That being said, this game really isn't like that. It has that tendency. It really depends on how long you can do it, and depending on the character. Like I said, Wolverine is one of those characters that can get like a 23 hit combo. Or Penny Parker, I've heard, is also really crazy in this game. I've heard a variety of different things, and it really depends on like how good you get at the game. At a medium level, look, for me, I'm happy with get like a 12 to 15 hit combo, bro. If I can get a 23 hit combo, it's magic. Like, that's magic. But even then, this is the second hardest difficulty. These guys weren't pulling off a lot of like crazy combos on me. Maybe a few times, but you weren't there for the Wolverine stuff that I was doing before. I only did Wolverine because I was like, I had heard some stuff and I'm like, is he really that crazy? Because I wasn't playing online because it's been taking forever to like queue up on that crap. And I was like, well, is he really that crazy? Bro, he won like 7 games and I only won like 1 of them. And I was like, bro. And one of the one I won was because I was using Miss Marvel and not Spider-Man, bro. And even then, Spider-Man is probably the only character that would be able to fight Wolverine. Just, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about using Wolverine, you're going to be my aunt. I just want you to know that. If online is going to be filled to the brim with him and Penny Parker, I can already tell that's what online is going to be. That's why I'm not hyped for online. I'm hyped to play this game with my fans. Also, freaking Doom ore farming out of the portal there. But anyway, so here now I'm kind of trying to focus on doing some of the like the team up like hit assist and stuff like here. Like at this point, like I feel like I've gotten pretty okay to comfortable with moving around as Ms. Marvel. So now I'm trying to utilize more assist and stuff like that. So that's really why I'm just like doing that. Like I'm trying to focus more because, as y'all know, I've got ADHD. So diverting my focus to block and do a bunch of other things. This is what I might be able to get cracked at fighting games if that was the case, but I can't because I can't divert a lot of my attention. So I'm really just trying to figure out combos at this point. I've kind of got down Miss Marvel's base combos. That's kind of what I have down. At this point, I'm trying to figure out how can I move her combos into using assist like Spider-Man and Magic and all them. That's who I'm trying to figure out right now. I also think I switched to Magic at some point here because I was like, you know what, let me switch to Magic, switch it up a little bit. Also, this Wakanda map is beautiful, bro, beautiful. But as you see, you can see I'm moving a little. I'm still spamming a little bit, but you can tell I'm a little more comfortable with moving around as Miss Marvel. You can definitely tell a little more comfortable. I'm getting her down. I understand how she works. Complete 3 stocked. Completely crazy. Also, her design in this game is really cool. I think that also just really helps that I like her a lot in this game because her design is just really cool. So, her theme music's hype, I guess, and this music's pretty cool. But, either way, we go into the next set, and I'm ready. I'm just trying to see what's going to happen. This is my first time like fighting Black Panther. I don't really know. So the bots don't really switch. So when it comes to fighting online, you're probably going to get a variety of different people to fight because people are probably going to be switching online. But from what I've seen in a lot of videos, a lot of people will stick to one or two characters. They'll stick to like their main and their secondary, while sometimes using other ones. And that's kind of how I want to run. If I get better at Magic, I think Magic and Miss Marvel are going to be my runners, while I have Spider-Man as an assist strictly because I do really like Spider-Man, but I think he's better as an assist at this point, now that I've kind of had a lot of time to sit on it and see it in the footage as well. And I actually feel more comfortable moving around with Magic in some cases because I've kind of gotten hurt out. And that's the thing I really like about this game as well. With Guilty Gear as well, Dragon Ball FighterZ, as much as I love it, felt very like overwhelming in terms of learning combos and stuff, because it's a fundamentally different game from a lot of fighters that you'll play, whereas Guilty Gear is a lot more simple. It's easier to learn. That's the same thing with this game. It's very much like, you can see I don't have a lot of time with this game, but you can see I've kind of got like, I've learned Miss Marvel. I've learned, by the way, this is the best looking ult in the freaking game. It's so freaking sick. I've learned Magic for a little bit. Like Magic, like I've used her a little less, but she's really fun to use. She's really easy to understand. She has a little bit of range, but if you're more of a close range character, you're going to excel with Magic, especially if you learn how her portals work. Her portals are like crazy. And that's what I'm like super excited to like learn more to like. That's where her technical side comes from. And that's what I kind of like Magic. She's very technical, but she's very simple. As you can see, I'm kind of like just trying to... So I figured I have a Xbox Elite controller, so that was why I was swinging there, trying to figure out what those buttons do to see if that might help me. And then I was like, let me not throw. So I started, going back. But you can see I seamlessly in there, leave up a portal there to hopefully do that, but then I hit a 2H on it, kind of trying to see what she can do in air after a 2H. And I really like the way that 2H feels in this game compared to Fighters. Fighters 2H kind of felt like because, and maybe it's just because I wasn't crazy at Fighters, but Fighters you could like 2H and continue a combo for like ever. Whereas this game, you can 2H, but it's not meant to be carried like crazy. You're meant to do like 3 or 4 hits and then knock them back down to the ground. And I think that's what I really like about a lot of fighting games like this and Guilty Gear is the game feels more grounded. Being on the ground feels better. And while I like Fighters is very much, you're in the air a lot, you're floaty, it really just depends. You can make it kind of grounded, but a lot of the matches, especially if you watch pro players, they're in the air a lot. They're going to be, juggling in the air. They're just doing a lot of that movement, switching out constantly. And Fighters is a great game. No, don't take this as me like hating on Fighters while I'm, glazing this game, because this game so far from what I've played is really, really fun and I love it. But Fighters definitely had some things that I didn't like in terms of fighting games, just with how it works. Like, obviously, like I said earlier, I'm a person that plays with specific characters. It's hard for me to remember, like, oh, I can switch characters. I want to play with the character that I'm already at. So, using and utilizing a switch mechanic all the time in Fighters, when that's what it was built around and heavily relies on to get high combo strings, was something that I just wasn't really good at, admittedly, and something I never could keep conscious of. Whereas this game, you can do that. But this game very much lets you be able to move and have one person on the field at a time and be able to use your assist. So it's an either or. You can get a lot of combo strings by switching mid fight, or you can do it by just putting in your assist. You can do it either or. It really doesn't matter. So that's something I also really liked about this game is, like, you can see a lot of this video, I was playing with Miss Marvel. I was just straight up being Miss Marvel throughout the whole thing. Had her on the field primarily. I mean, heck, Black Panther was cooking me here, and she was the only one on the field the whole time. So it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that was a few matches from this game. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be having more Tokon videos soon, maybe with friends, maybe a few online videos, maybe a story mode. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of content for this game, but for the most part, that's Tokon Fighting Souls. I really like this game, so I hope you guys enjoy.